Hey, Bob Coppedge, CEO, Simplex-IT Show Geek, and this is a bit of a late wrap-up, rant, whatever you want to call it, review of March 25. And March was pretty cool. There was a lot of both primarily local events that were going on. And it's just, it is, I forget sometimes how active the IT community is in Northeast Ohio. And not just networking things, but also really learning and sharing. And it started off on March 3rd. There was an AI and big data meetup over at Baldwin Wallace, where there was about 100 and some people. And there are some really smart, sharp, cutting edge folks here in Northeast Ohio that are not only keeping track, but developing some new AI technology and the like. And it was great to see some presentations from them. It's a nonprofit. Just it's a meetup. It's really cool, and it's not the only one. Anybody want to know information? Let me know in the comments, and I'll share the connections for the next one. The second thing was actually kind of cool. Danny O'Lynn, who is the IT director for one of our clients, Corgan Krause, was nice enough to volunteer to join a webinar with me called What the Function webinar, which is aimed at managed service providers such as Simplex-IT. And we really talked about, both from Danny's perspective as well as Simplex-IT's, the whole business behind co-managed IT services. And really from an MSP perspective. So yes, I gladly brought on one of my clients, identified, and we talked about co-managed and how we did it to make it work to my competition. That's what we do. Get used to it, boys and girls. Next thing, GTIA. I was in Chicago for a few days for their conference, their planning conference, and I used to be members of one of their support conferences, basically for vendor development. By the way, GTIA is the nonprofit offshoot from the CompTIA, former CompTIA, that is now a fully for-profit organization. So GTIA is really the one that I'm going to be continuing to be involved with and all that. Although now I am a champion member, or a member champion, or something along those lines. But it was still a great 3 days or so in Chicago, really catching up with what the changes are that the GTIA has done. And by the way, don't call it GSHA or GTIA or GSHA. They'll get uppity about that. And they'll also try to feed you, I kid you not, vegetarian eggs. Yes, that is the thing. Anyway, but that was pretty good. And I think you'll be hearing more and more from people, including me, about what GTIA is doing moving forward and the like. Back to home, back to Cleveland, March 13th, the Cleveland GiveCamp, one of my favorite volunteer weekends, which I do not volunteer for because they're developing websites and nobody wants me to develop a website for some reason. But it was a great networking event downtown. That Cleveland GiveCamp is just an amazing unsung thing that volunteers do to create free website and resources for nonprofits in the Northeast Ohio area. So Simplex-IT, myself, we've been helping support that one way or another for years and continue to do that. Back over to Simplex-IT world, we basically went through Q1 wrap up and Q2 basically setting up goals and objectives. Again, we're an EOS, Entrepreneurial Operating System shop, and so we went through our rocks and building teams. And really, it's interesting with Patty on the COO side, and she's almost 2 years now. This is becoming more and more her baby in terms of really making sure that we are doing things appropriately and that we are holding ourselves accountable, including me. And the like, and it's don't tell her I said this, but it's great to see things moving forward and maturing so well. So that was cool. And also Aerospace Industry Association, they had their social, went to that, and Greater Cleveland Partnership held an IT advisory group dinner that had about 30 or so primarily managed service providers. So yes, we were all in there together, hating each other's guts, just despising each other, or really talking and having some great conversations. I had some great conversations with friends over at AtNet and Fit, and really talked about doing some cool things that may actually happen that would really facilitate some of the challenges that not only individuals have, but also IT organizations have in terms of both finding the jobs and finding the talent and making sure that there's a good process going on. So we'll see how that goes. And then one last thing I want to remind everybody about, if you haven't heard already, Microsoft's actually putting out a update to Windows, whether you want it or not, that is going to slow down your boot but speed up your Office apps running. It's called Microsoft Fast Boot. Again, in the comments or right here, we'll put a link to a video we've done on it. And also, Microsoft is going to be joining Google in terms of creating some requirements in terms of your DMARC settings, in case you send a lot of emails to Hotmail or Outlook.com or the like. So again, we'll put links to the videos on those in the comments or down here as well. A lot of stuff going on already in April, because April's almost halfway done, and a lot more networking events that I've been doing, and including a trip down to Columbus, to the State House, for an interesting day there, as well as I went to a Cavs game. Yay, and they did not serve vegetarian eggs at either of those events. Go figure. Anyway, that's what's going on with us. What's going on with you? Let me know in the comments. Bye.